Welcome to episode 100 of Kirby's Disc Golf World, the third annual rendition of the Frolfies, the most prestigious disc golf award show on the internet. I'm JK Disc Golf, and I'm honored to be alongside with Disc Golf Jesus and Swiss Cheese.
Happy 100, man. I wouldn't have thought we'd have gotten here.
Looks like we made it.
I know.
We've come a long way. I kind of wanted this to be like a This Is Your Life, and we could do stuff like we did like the first episodes, like where it was just brutally, just awkwardly me talking about disc golfers that I just first seen for the first time. Yeah, that was fucking fun.
We had to cut that segment out real fast.
Yeah, dude.
That
was there for like the first 20 episodes. It was quality. Check it out. The best part is we were just gathered around a small little like coffee table. Like 9x9 table with a microphone in between.
Reed's trying to get us canceled before our 200th episode.
He's trying to get us canceled before we were out of season 1.
No, you guys were the ones that wanted to do this shit. You're like, oh man, I got this great idea for a thing. I'm like, okay.
Okay, first of all, it was a great idea. It was just we didn't know the execution.
No, it wasn't a great idea.
No need to raise your voice. We're right next to you.
No,
we're in studio right now.
Offended.
Yeah, no, like
because you're basically like, hey, judge a book by its cover. Let's do this. That's not a great idea. And that was also like 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
3 years ago at this point.
Yeah, so it was a different time. We're in 2023 now. It's fucking different world we live in.
Your personality, you gotta tone it down a little bit. But yeah, we started this podcast 3 years ago, our third annual Frolfies. We're gonna get to some awards. We're gonna tell you guys the official Kirby's Disc Golf World picks for Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, all that good stuff, along with a little bit of our own awards here and there. And if you guys are wondering more, these are not going to be our only awards. If you do want to see the actual award show of the Frolfies, go check out the Kirby's Disc Golf or the Disc Golf World channel, where the entire thing will be posted there. And this year's host actually ended up being Swiss Cheese.
Yeah. I think these are kind of the ones that we like fought more about or like disputed more about. The other ones were kind of like, yeah, that's a winner. Like these ones are a little bit more where we had like a little bit discussion on.
I don't know. There was a couple debating on the ones that were
maybe. Yeah. I think these were a little more passionate. But yeah, man, let's get into it.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So I guess we didn't really think this through. Do we want to start and just give the people what they want and just start off with Player of the Year? Do we tease them a little bit with some of our other awards first? What are you thinking? You were the host, so it's your call, Swiss.
Let's do like the one tease. So this will be like, let's give them like the semi-lame one. Like at the other award show, like this would go to like the editing award. Ooh. Or something. You know what I mean? Like the one that like no one cares about. Then we'll give them the big one, and then we'll freestyle from there.
Yeah, I totally forgot the list over there on the other side of the room.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to read it off here for you
Okay.
guys. We're going to start off with... I'm trying to think of like the award to give you. There's like nothing really that we could really talk about. Let's just start it off simply with Rookie of the Year. Not quite the big of the Player of the Year with more of the discussion, but someone making this name on themselves for the first year on tour.
Yeah, so I think you had a couple of like standouts. I especially in the MPO, you had Burridge had a pretty solid year, also running a playoff with Ricky.
It was Simon,
or Simon. I said Ricky, didn't I? Sorry, it was.
Well,
Simon.
I think that is there's been two big arguments. It's Isaac Robinson or it was Robert Burridge, and
yes.
Right. I think when you look at the actual ranking and standings, when it comes down to it, Robert Burridge actually, I think, ended up coming up with more points. That was with the PDGA criteria, which everyone like hates it. So I don't know how much point to put too much merit into that. But this is obviously what we believe, and what you have basically in front of us. You have someone who went into a playoff with Simon Lizotte and lost, versus someone who ended up winning one of the most. One of the hardest courses on tour at being Idlewild, right?
Yep. And then I think he had a top 3 maybe in Portland. Also, you know what I mean? So he was up there. Solid season. Yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer. It's Isaac. I can understand what Burridge did in that tournament, and a pretty solid season overall. Definitely should be mentioned, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's Isaac Robinson.
Yeah, Burridge wins that match. He wins the Rookie of the Year. So
hands down, if he wins it, he gets it based on all the other points. But that being said, the first Frolfie of the evening going to Isaac Robinson for Rookie of the Year. Congratulations, Isaac Robinson. Your reward will not be mailed to you because we're not doing that here. We don't got that kind of a budget. Moving on, then we have the FPO Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, this is another no-brainer for me. I think it's Emily Beach. Is the standout, plenty of top fives, led some stats also. Emily Beach, bright future. I don't know, maybe Holland Hanley would be another. I don't know if she played many tournaments the year before enough to qualify for rookie.
I don't know who they're so stupid with the rookies and what's the rookie or not. It's a dumb system, so I don't know who's a rookie or who's not. So Emily Beach is cool with me.
Yeah, I think based on that was the one good thing about like the PDGA criteria is at least I got to see who was overall placing well in the tournaments that they were allowed to play, and Emily Beach came out on top for that. So I'm going to stick with the second Frolfie of the evening, Rookie of the Year, going to Emily Beach. Congratulations, Emily. I feel like plenty of things to come. Yeah. Congratulations on the first season. Moving on to the second award of the night, we're going to be having the Breakout Star for both the MPO and FPO.
Breakout Star for FPO and MPO?
Yep.
Let's hear some.
So going immediately to the FPO, because I know exactly where Reed wants to go with this, but I'm going to give you one thought before that. Valerie Mandujano went into the season with 0 wins and kind of little credibility to her name. Her first season on Dynamic. What she did, especially at Texas States and Waco, taking down 2 events, I think that was clear for a breakout, especially with the rest of the season with the top 5s and just consistently staying at the top. I think this is what we can say a breakout, and that's specifically why she's leaving this year and getting signed for a bigger company.
Right. Breakout star. Keyword there is star. I think the person that's the biggest star and the biggest breakout star is Cat Merch. Woo. I think she big fan following. I think everybody's falling in love with her. She's going to be big things when it comes on to the playing. So when it comes to playing next year and the years coming up, I think she's going to do big things on the course. Cat Merch would be who I say is definitely the breakout star.
Okay, so who was the first one? I'm sorry. I was helping Jay out with some awards and things of that nature. I got to acknowledge the move.
Yep. The first one we had was Valerie Mandujano, and then obviously Reed just said Cat Merch.
So breakout, performance, or star. I'm going to go with a wild card here. I'm going to go with... Man, you guys won't count it, but I'm going to go with Haley.
I'm not going to count it. I'm just not.
With so few tournaments that she played to win the arguably the biggest major in the FPO, you know what I mean? Kind of doing the same thing as like an Eagle and McMahon. We're going to celebrate Eagle along with everybody's with that European Open. Why don't we do the same thing for Haley King? Are you saying she's just not? She's too popular to be breakout, even though she only played 1.
I think that she's done bigger and better things.
Yeah,
I think she won
than
the
a USDG.
Okay, Quinn, it's like giving Gannon Burr breakout star.
I would say, yeah, you kind of had a breakout years.
Yeah,
but you didn't have a win before this.
2 years.
Yeah.
So we can't give it to him again. We given
okay. Then if you're gonna do that,
you only get so many times a breakout before this should just be what you do.
Then I would go with. Would you count Holland Hanley with the 3rd place finish at Worlds?
If we're going to do breakout performance and not breakout star, I think we have to acknowledge Natalie Ryan. Natalie Ryan won Maple Hill. She also
D-Glow.
And D-Glow. She beat Kristen Tatar in a playoff, who is by far the best female disc golfer right now, hands down. And she beat her in a playoff. I think her 2 wins were more outstanding than Valerie Manduhano's wins. And Valerie Mandujano all came in a bunch at the beginning of the year in her home area.
Yeah, I would say Valerie's got ahead of like far more consistent season than Natalie Ryan, in my opinion. But there's definitely an argument. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's where it really comes down to is when you look at it, it is that Valerie, I think throughout the entire season showed a little bit more because a lot of the times when we saw Natalie Ryan, it was either when she wasn't in contention, it was like she was not in contention. She was kind of more out there, especially when there was times where she would drop out. And I think overall throughout this season, Valerie Manujano just did a little bit better. That's where
fuck you guys. I got the trophy. Natalie Ryan, guess what? You get the trophy for breakout female FPO player.
You can't argue with the Frolfie guys. That was the breakout player for the FPO, but who do we think the MPO deserves? Apparently, I can't pick Gannonberg because Jesus already is.
Yeah, really.
Jesus, like, honestly, he's been fucking like,
and he broke it this time.
So he can't be breakout. He broke out last year.
17-year-old winning a major can't be a breakout. It just sounds weird to me.
He's been breakout before.
Yeah, has been Has he? Probably.
Okay.
He was my breakout last year for sure.
Because
the year before that was Kyle Klein.
Yeah, so he's.
But who this season then do you think really broke out in the MPO field?
Nicholas Aventulo.
Antula.
Same thing. That guy.
His USDGC performances specifically.
Yeah, and like he was in contention. He's been showcased. He's been showcased by his brand and showcased and shown all around. So he's getting his name out. You're gonna see him maybe do bigger, better things next year. Because I think everybody that like performed well has been performing well. Like we didn't have that one no-name fucking guy step up and
just like really take control. Yeah,
not like we had with Natalie Ryan, Manahanu, and not like we had with that. We didn't have like the one.
No, yeah, we really didn't.
Like
except for Isaac, I would only argue.
I was thinking Isaac Robinson. You can say that he did break out with that little extra win there. I'm not. But you're right. We didn't have that one kind of like, oh, you just want a tournament? Like, that's kind of wild. We did not have that. I mean, you can even again. I disagree with this as well. I think is giving it to Simon because he didn't really break out because he's done this before, right? But he's been in such a lull and such a out of the scene and doing, getting the 2 win or not more than 2 wins, right? Getting
or nobody would bet on Simon winning 2.
Is that a little bit? Break?
Or do we go?
I kind of side with you as much as he's
Paul
a big
McBeth. He broke out of his world slump. What about that? Can we just give it to Paul McBeth?
No.
If we're just gonna fucking make up new fucking rules for this fucking thing, let's just give it to fucking anybody.
To be fair, we didn't come up with any rules.
What Paul world slump? He still finished in the top 2.
Yeah, but he didn't
that wasn't a slump.
That's a slump. If he doesn't win it, it's a slump.
That's true. I'm really torn on who to give this breakout player.
I think we got to give it to. I think we just got to give it to the breakouts, the old hats. Like the MPO was just. There was no new.
So we're not giving you a Frolfie, right?
Man, it's got to be Isaac.
We're going to postpone this Frolfie.
It's got to be
next
Isaac.
Year.
No, yeah, we got
Isaac already won one. He can't get 2. It's kind of unfair.
Who else broke out for him? Girthy? I don't.
When? Where? You had nothing to base that off of. You just said a name.
Who broke out?
I'm just throwing out names.
I don't know. I genuinely think almost want to hear me out a little bit. This might be a little bit of a stretch, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of a pitch for Robert Burridge on breaking out, not necessarily on the win, but breaking out into the disc golf scene. Think of how many people know Robert Burridge's name now than they did before absolutely anything. And yes, it was because he competed with Simon, but I think it was more so his skills throughout that, and then going back and continuing to kind of put his name a little bit in the rankings.
Then should we just do Gossage?
Oh man, what
but
about?
I do have one more.
I got another one.
I think we
might have the same one.
I want to say it first. Could we talk about Chandler Kramer?
No, Chandler Kramer was not mine.
Chandler Kramer broke out.
He did break out, European breakout. I got another one for you. What about another young player? I can't remember his first name. Mund.
Jake Mund.
Yes. He also
what about Thomas Gilbert winning Canada, winning the Canadian Open or Canadian Worlds, whatever it's called?
The Canadian Championships.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd necessarily say he broke out because of that, but. I don't know. I just he's also some guy who's just kind of just doing it. I think now after that,
I think that's how we all feel about the Canadian win as a general, as far as fans is
yeah, but he won.
He did win it. He did. He's from Canada, though. It's like Valerie winning Texas. It doesn't really count. But I think.
But you just. No.
Okay. We're just gonna keep rolling. We're just gonna keep rolling with this one. I think after the European Open, nobody knew Chandler Kramer's name, and he was actually consistently being up in the ranks after that, only with a forehand. I think that was really breakout on tour where he's becoming now a household name, specifically to making a name for Lone Star. I don't think Lone Star has nearly as much success if Chandler Kramer doesn't do what he does.
There you go.
Maybe sex too.
Maybe.
We're not gonna not acknowledge that. That was too good not to acknowledge.
But I think it's only fair to say the MPO Breakout Player of the Year goes to Chandler Kramer.
Nice. I love how this award show is when whoever talks last and who they want.
Check it out, guys.
Oh, I got the award. This one's gonna be.
I got MPO Breakout Player of the Year, Chandler Kramer autograph Warbird for sale. Anybody want it?
Well, I figured the new rule set, this is how my mind works, I'm going to say it out loud. We each nominate one person and we just pitch it out, and whenever someone's like, you know what, that's got it right. Okay. That's who gets the
cool with Chandler Kramer.
All right, moving on now. We are going to go on to our spectator award. Guys, you know, on the course, disc golfers are the absolute best spectators. However, sometimes they happen to be the dumbest of spectators, and this award goes to some of those.
You got to go with fucking the umbrella saving Ricky's fucking what tournament? I wrote it down. What tournament?
Green Mountain Championship.
Yeah,
everyone knows the.
Yeah, and hitting the umbrella, knocking it inbounds, saving the fucking tournament for Ricky. So, I think. Like, if it's gonna be the best spectator award, and that spectator helped that guy win that tournament, so that's the best.
He did kind of help. That's kind of like, when you think about it, that's so messed up.
Like if we're gonna go the best, like most spectators, the other spectators that we have nominated are gonna be the ones that fucked it up and ruined it for somebody. This one helped Ricky win. He ruined it for that other guy who Ricky was facing, but fuck that guy. He helped Ricky win.
Man, I'm not getting any others that are coming to mind.
I got one right here because this one comes right to my mind. Who's leaving a bag in the fairway? Who does that? And it's funny because I have a tweet out there that everyone shit on me for talking about bringing your bag to the course, but this literally affected Gannon Burr, his disc going in it, having to put his foot in the bag, obstructing his shot. I just don't see how we just can't give it to that spectator for ruining it.
I gotcha.
It doesn't fucking help the case. The guy's like, you know, you can take it out of the bag.
Yeah, again, it's like, nope.
You can drop it. You can drop it if you want.
That's why Gannon should have won the fucking breakout alone, first of which, but Reed's null and void in his nomination. The man chose to use the bag play.
Because like, you want to know? I think Gannon Burr even says in the video, it's more funny if I shoot out of the bag.
Absolutely. That's fucking great.
So I think, again, that's like a positive.
Only a teenager would
like
do that.
Joking, like he didn't have to happen to it. And I got a Swiss cheese want to acknowledge it. I'll acknowledge it. Fucking separating a family, Ellen King calling in fucking the popo and being like, hey, that 13-year-old can't be around her mother.
I think it was younger than that now.
Okay, yeah, you had to be 13. She's like 11.
Yeah.
She's like, that 11-year-old.
Still stupid. I did agree. It's her mouth right there.
That 11-year-old in a fucking foreign country can't be around her mother. Let's make sure that stops happening. And then,
I really hope someone's like listening to this right now and be like, what is he talking about? Yeah, that happened.
Yep.
That happened this season. Remember that.
Yep. Call Kristen Tatar. It was tournament. Her daughter was caddying for her, and Ella King that was doing the
commentary.
The commentary. It's like, that's illegal. Texted her the card mates of Tatar. It's like, hey, that's illegal. They need to make that. Which I don't know, like if she would have like finished the thing off, could like the PGA null and void her round or something? Maybe that's why she did it. She's like just to get it done before, like in case something happened. Well, either way,
it was dumb.
It messed with her head, and Kristen Tatar proceeds to go bottom up and lose that tournament.
That was Champions Cup, no?
Yep, that was
Champions Cup. If you guys don't know the story of Champions Cup, go back and look at that final round. Tell me she wasn't rattled.
Yep. Yeah. And we all like check out fucking the Frolfies over there. You'll get a good with the Champions Cup. Yeah. So both hurt, both hindered the people. I think it has to go with the umbrella. I think it's more. It was funny. It helped somebody that everybody enjoys win.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm gonna go Lane King.
No, I'm gonna go with the umbrella on this one as well, just because I think it was like
Cool,
this
man.
is
I'm
straight.
glad I showed up, guys. This is really fun.
well, I mean,
I think it's like 1, 2. It's like really hard for me to fully say that the Lane King was the spectator. I get that, like whatever.
she was a spectator.
No, I get it. But this one's like a true someone who's just watching, like, and just why, like, all, to me, it's like why ever leave your.
This is a fan.
Yeah, like why would you?
Fan. This isn't somebody that's working with.
I just don't understand like what the thought process was. I'm gonna leave my umbrella here. Like, why do you not just have your umbrella with you
In
like,
play?
or, like,
Yeah.
yeah, just,
In
or
bounds, I'm gonna leave
specifically,
it.
yeah, go out. Well, yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Or
It
just
does
lay
not make
lay the umbrella down.
yeah, like anything, anything
Yeah,
besides that.
That was
but
terrible. Like,
what are the odds? But this spectator, if you are watching this, leave a comment section below. Maybe we'll send you something for the Frolfies. But moving on, we have none other than brand of the year, guys. This is what the company we think made the biggest moves throughout the 2022 season. Let's kick it off, Swiss.
I think it's safe to say that everybody, the brand that's popping in everybody's name is Clash.
They're everywhere, man.
Is the with the great marketing campaign for being brand new company.
They had the best, hands down, in my opinion, best disc golf commercials. 100%.
I think they had the hands down best commercials and hands down the best marketing plan for a new company. First of which they rolled out 7 discs or something like that in a year. They pumped out a ton of molds. So it wasn't like the traditional, like, hey, here's 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's 1.
Or Loft.
Or,
Loft is doing one at a time.
So yeah, so they pumped out a bunch. And some of them are bangers, like absolute bangers of discs
100%.
too.
I think it helps. Like they're winning this because we're a Clash fucking podcast.
We
We thoroughly enjoy Clash. Everybody bags at least 1 Clash disc. I think everybody bags at least 2 actually. Maybe not JK.
Yeah, I think I only got 1 right now.
But JK rocked a Clash bag for most of the year.
Yep.
I think they just ran away with it. I think the one company that's looking to next year to win this award would be Lone Star, with all their signings, with like their first signing with Nico LaCastro after the Chandler Kramer, like that one. But the first signing of Nico LaCastro was like they're like, whoa, what's going on? And then Emerson Keith, the Carries, Valerie Manahanu and Mason Ford when they signed.
Well, speaking of Valerie and Mason, I would say Dynamic needs to be represented in this as far as one of the best brands. A, because of the Ricky signing. B, this Kona, Valerie and Mason signing. Valerie having the year. Now, I understand what we're all thinking towards the end, that they saw a lot of these names have dropped, but still, for the entire year, who they signed, the disc that they sold with the signings, I think they also got to be discussed as far as being up there.
And for Clash to do what they did with just Nico and Nico getting suspended halfway through the year.
I think that's like the huge thing is what would have happened if Nico was there the entire season and was able to mark and beyond too, like and done something like fucking win anything and do something cool. And the best thing about Nico too, you can't deny this, is he pushes whatever is like representing him. He makes sure that he's posting every day. Annoyingly, sometimes with like constant story posts.
He does work.
He does what you want him to do.
He pushes the brand that sponsors him. He loves that shit.
So he was doing that for Clash the entire time. So they did ride that out. And something like in the back of my mind, like that I always kind of think is they were giving Nico at least a 6-figure contract, right? So like I wondered like how much of that did they just get back and what they're going to reinvest that into, if it's going to be another player, if they think making a whole bunch more discs mobile is the way to go. I'm just really curious in going forward in 2023 what Clash's move is going to be. But I think with their 2022 season, it only makes sense to give them this year's best brand Frolfie.
Nice.
And this might have been completely biased. And hey, this
it's hella biased. I just got the fucking cookie, and I'm 100% in that.
I just want to say, the guys, if you're listening to this at home, the Frolfies is not sponsored by Clash. It could be soon. So moving on to the next one, I think it only makes sense. We talked about the best brand. Let's talk about the best disc of the year. Let's kick it off. Jesus.
See, like. This is so hard. I guess the best disc that came out this year has to go with the best company. I think the disc I've seen most like raved about is the Honey and the wild honey. That's the one I've seen.
I've never thrown the wild honey. Actually,
Yeah, I've never. We only
More
got the
protos.
prototype,
Only protos.
so we've only thrown the regular honeys. Yeah, but so I think that's the one disc I've seen around. Like if it was me, if I was gonna go my disc of the year for 2022, I'd probably go with the Boreum. I think that's the brand new disc that I've been using the month. Like I, especially at the end of the year, I found a lot of fun with it, and I found a lot of good throws with it. So if it's my disc of the year, I'm gonna go Boreum. But if it's the new disc that came out this year, it's definitely the honey. It's the one I've seen everywhere, and everybody seems to fucking love the shit out of that. That's like the one disc I see out of, besides the splice. I've not seen any bad things about the splice, but there's no bad things said about the honey.
Well, I think the honey is just overall a great disc. I think no matter who you are, it has a role for you. I think that's something where if for a distance driver that I've believed since I was throwing it, it's so understable that I feel like slower arm speed people even have the ability to flip this thing flat and get distance where maybe they weren't able to before. To me, it feels, if you haven't thrown a honey, it's more like a still less stable rate. So you're getting a lot of turn out of it if you can get a lot of power. So a lot of times when I was throwing the honey, either I was putting in a massive hyzer or I was really slowing down my arm speed and still getting these crazy flex lines, which is awesome. And I think with my experience with the honey, I completely could see why it makes sense for it to be disc of the year. And you kind of throw out a little interesting point too when you give a little bit of your personal one. I'm going to also do that, and I'm going to stick with the Clash brand. Personally, for me, the Clash discs, man, I don't know what about that disc that just really attracts me and really just, I just throw it so well. It's if I have a disc right now that I can grab to throw a shot, and with my most confident shot, I'm grabbing the mint because I could do it forehand, backhand. That was something for that disc slot, that overstable putter that I wasn't confident with. I always wanted a forehand disc like the Zone or the Yarn, and my backhand I would only throw the Tactic, and this just to me combined both those factors. So I love it, and it's going to continue to stay in my
bag. So yeah, man, there's a ton of discs that came out. And I think like we're just stuck in ourselves with the Clash.
I think there's a ton of discs, but we haven't thrown them. That's the thing. Like Mindbender,
the new Tilt came out.
Yeah.
You got like a Nova released a ton. Like
yeah, but they're all like weird discs. Like, I'm not gonna get like. Wasn't there a disc called like the It?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
get
the
animal. Was it might have been the It.
No, yeah.
There is an animal.
Yeah,
too.
Paul's
the Athena. I never want to throw the I never had the urge. I heard it was just like a T-bird.
Maybe I'll what's the new one coming out from Nova?
The Charge.
The Charge. Maybe I'll get that.
I'm kind of interested in that. I'm not gonna lie. It's stupid name, and I don't really care for the stamp.
Even though I've cut down the amount of Nova.
You got Discmania DD1. Granted, that's brand new, so that's probably not gonna. Yeah. But
yeah,
you got the Thought Space. I think Thought Space had one or two releases too.
I'm sure.
So. I think it's the one that we've all. The honey's the one we've thrown, and the honey I've seen the most praise and most up about.
I can't disagree.
Wait, Swiss, do you have your disc of the?
Don't matter, man. None of mine are gonna get selected, so let's move on.
What's your personal one?
Your personal disc of the year.
What brand new one?
No, just any disc that made it's like you really thought, damn, this disc this year did work for me.
No, I got none.
You have none. There's no disc where you're like, damn, this was like.
No,
really
I think
good.
we talked about Clash enough, so I'm not going to bring it up. I know you guys are trying to fucking force feed me bringing up the berry, but I'm not going to bring up the berry. So let's move on to the next one. Like, we've literally already gargled down enough of the fucking Clash Kool-Aid for the solid 15 minutes of the 20 minutes of this podcast.
You also have that streamlined disc that you really like.
I don't
the one with the weird elephant on it.
That's Prodigy.
The Shadowfax.
Yeah, the Shadowfax could be one that you talked about.
Yeah,
you have brand new putters you're throwing that you could talk about. We weren't trying to push the berry.
No, you were trying to push the berry.
Jefferson said the mint, because it's just that plan that popped in our bag. That's
all right. We can move on from that. I think the Frolfie does happen to go to the Clash discs, honey. If you haven't tried it out, definitely recommend it from all of us. It was in our bag at least 1 point. So yes, Swiss can stop being a little bit of a hater right now. Moving on to the award, we know you guys are most excited about the player of the year, the official Kirby's Disc Golf World Player of the Year. We're going to start
those points.
We're going to start out with the MPO. Swiss, who is your vote for Player of the Year?
Ricky Wysocki is my vote for player of the year.
Yeah.
I think he had the most points in DGBT. He had the better season, better money, better cash. Ricky.
I'm gonna go with a guy by the name of Paul Macbeth. He won his 6 worlds, like just stamped his name forever as the top disc golfer of all time. Fuck anybody else. And
That's just a fact.
and like kind of like there was so much hate, like so much is after his second place finish, like after his down years, the down year, he kind of
people didn't really think he'd come back.
Is fucking Paul Macbeth dead? Is fucking and he just shut everybody up. I think he won. I think he had the second best rounds ever in of the year.
Oh, you're talking like
pointage, and then I think he didn't just win worlds, right? He won something else too, didn't he?
He didn't really have a whole lot of wins, but he did win something.
Yeah,
he had a memorial win. He had
there you go.
Memorial is not really.
Whatever.
No, memorial
Maybe he didn't win anything, but he led America to the championship in the European thingy.
Man, that fucking thing just completely erased my mind.
He won Waco.
He won Waco.
Yeah.
Waco's fucking a huge.
No, what are you doing? No, it's not.
It's huge.
No,
Waco's so fucking huge.
We
Man,
literally said how Valerie Manuhano Waco does
was
that.
was less important.
It's not FVP. But I think to settle this, I really want to say Simon just so we all have 1-1-1, but I just can't. I think Ricky Wysocki deserves it. I think especially with the final win at the Tour Championship really solidified it, especially doing what he did to do it. The hole was only birdied 2 times, I believe, the entire tournament. He did it back-to-back holes.
Yeah, that was
to
pretty dirty.
Beat
DGPT champion.
Yeah, but I forgot who he's playing against, but doesn't really matter.
Good question.
Yeah, it's completely blanking in my mind, but yeah, I think when Ricky took that down, getting more wins on the season, to me, over Simon, Ricky Wysocki. I think it just makes sense that he gets the player of the year. Ricky Wysocki wins the Frolfie.
FPO.
Now we're going to be moving on to the FPO Player of the Year. This one, again, gets a little bit interesting because it's funny that we saw the PDGA and the DGPT, who they put out. And then, again, for them, the winner of Player of the Year was Paul Macbeth. However, that's not the case for Kirby's Disc Golf World. But the winner of Player of the Year for PDGA just came out and was Paige Pierce. That being said, Swiss, who do you think was the FPO Player of the Year? Jesus, what do you think?
Why? I want him to explain why. I think
it needs explanation.
It's Tatar.
And I think it makes only sense that Tatar wins Player of the Year.
I think Jay was just trying to make a little more drama than he'd be no, it's Tatar.
Paige didn't have the fire.
Paige knows it's Tatar too.
Oh yeah, I think
Paige knows it's Tatar.
When you look back at Tatar's just stats,
when you nearly cash more than any MPO player on the season, or every other MPO but one, Player of the Year. Done. Stamp.
Yeah, I think well-deserved. Chris Tatar, greatest FPO season, winning the Frolfie this year. That's going to wrap up the award ceremony for the podcast. But if you guys want to see more awards, specifically the best shot and best putt, head over to the YouTube channel where you can see all those clips and the award ceremony. Make sure to check that, guys, out. But if you're staying tuned, we're going to be giving a little bit of predictions on the 2023 disc golf season. I have a little bit of questions.
It's Kirby's Disc Golf World 2 early predictions.
We do this every single year, and nothing's going to change here. We're going to do it one more time. All right, starting off, we do this again, like tradition. So who do you guys think will be outside of the top 32?
Oh, that's in it now?
Yeah. I'm gonna switch that. I'm gonna switch that to who do you think is gonna be? Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's all on me. Who do you think is gonna be outside the top?
So who's in and finishes out?
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, cool.
Nice. Who is in and will finish outside top 32.
And just for the people that are listening and can't see it, I'm going to give you a little bit of breakdown from 32 to 23, kind of so you get a little bit more thought on the guys here. You have sitting at 32 spot going down Gavin Rathbun, Andrew Marweed, Kale LaVisca, Drew Gibson, Nico LaCastro, Aaron Gossage, Greg Barsby, Lori Lettinen, Vano Makala, Garrett Girthy on the 23rd spot.
Give me who's gonna get out. I don't think Andrew Marweed's that good. I think he'll drop out of the top 30. I just don't really think he's, because I can see Gavin Rathbun coming back, like being off of injury, moving up. You want to know what now? Or Kale LaVisca's old as fuck. I'm like, you want to know what? Fuck that. Kale LaVisca's gonna be out of top 32. He's gonna be like 35, 36, but he's gonna be out of the top 32. I'm sorry. Kale LaVisca.
Who you going with, Swiss?
Out of those names, man, part of me wants to pick Greg Barsby, but dude, the guy's a gamer. Like, you know what I mean? He's gonna do it no matter what. I'll go Drew Gibson drops out of top 32.
Man, you pick Greg Barsby over Drew Gibson. You're insane. I'm going to go with Greg Barsby's dropping outside the top 32. There's just no way that I think Greg Barsby's game does not compare to Drew Gibson's game, especially in 2023 disc golf. I'm sorry. I think the distance is going to be shown more in, more out, and Drew Gibson's got it. And really, what does Greg Barsby do better than Drew Gibson?
So I think it's just between those two for you guys.
Throw-ins.
That's okay, but like
by far,
I think Kale's a safe choice. I'm gonna be a little bit more like controversial. I'm picking a guy who's 26 in the ranking right now.
Let's go. Let's scroll up. I'll pick somebody even higher. Let's go.
Yeah, you're just gonna pick a name to pick a name though.
Yeah,
I can say a name too.
No, Kale's too consistent. It was Barsby or Drew Gibson. I don't think Drew had a consistent year last year, and.
Well, if you thought that was hard,
hey, where's Brody Smith?
We'll get there when we get there, man.
Okay, cool.
We did who will be out in the top 32. We're going to break it down a little bit more. We're going to go into the top 20. Who do you guys think will be outside the top 20? I'm going to give a little bit names for the listeners back home. Starting at the 20 spot, going to the 11th spot while you guys think. Starting in the number 20, going down, you have Bradley Williams, Alden Harris, Kevin Jones, James Conrad, Chris Clemens, Anthony Barella, Nate Sexton, Joel Freeman, Corey Ellis, and Isaac Robinson.
I think Kevin Jones can easily be out of the top 20. You don't hear that dude's name anymore. That dude's just fucking trying to make money being a DJ. I honestly think I think Joel Freeman could be in the top 10, but I also think Joel Freeman could be outside the top 20.
That's fair.
Like I think both.
I can't really argue that.
I think both of those things could happen with Joel Freeman. So those are two picks that I can give out.
I understand your KJ, but I think KJ is what we think he is, and that is like the perfect spot where KJ is always at.
I think top 25, yes. I don't think top 20 is KJ's spot.
I think he's
top 25.
I think top 25 is KJ's spot, but I think he's not good enough to stay up in the top 20. I'm surprised he's up in the top 20.
Man, I think he's I think he's right where he should be. He's in that like 15 to 20 at all the time every year. Bradley had a win and he took 20th. So I'm gonna go Bradley Williams. I know that's a cop out, but where would he have been without that win? You know what I mean? As far as in the points. So you take that away. I kind of think it's going to be Bradley Williams. If I was going with a shocker, if I was going like out there shock.
Wait, I got a shocker.
Go ahead. Let's hear yours.
You're going the opposite. You went the 20th. We picked the last person pick. I'm going to go with the last. Oh, I guess not the last person, but the last person I named, Isaac Robinson.
Oh, I was about to say the same thing.
In 11 plays. He won. He got to win. And will he do that again? Can he back that up? The only thing that's scary to me is like someone that got a win 2 years ago and then didn't get a win this season was Kyle Klein. You still see Kyle Klein sitting in that 10th place spot. But I think if I'm betting on anyone that, I've proven to make this call before, I'm picking Kyle Klein as an overall better disc golfer than Isaac Robinson. I don't know if he can quite hold on to that top 20. Do I think he'd be a 22, 23 disc golfer? I do.
Yep. Yeah, how did Nicola Alvatuna not win fucking breakout player? He's number 9 on this list, motherfuckers. God.
I did notice that.
Fucking.
But like, okay, like as much as I don't want to, I'm not necessarily. I like Nicholas Antula, but I'm just not backing his game up as much
Fucking-
as
I'll back his game up.
I know,
all
Exactly.
I
Fucking
know.
All
bureaucrat
day,
bullshit.
yeah.
Hey, guess what? I got the award still. Nicola, you get the award.
There you go. I'm okay with that one. And then finally, we're gonna be breaking out who do you guys would think was gonna be leaving the top 10, and I'll give you guys at home the top 10. At the 10th place spot, you have Kyle Klein, Nicholas Antula, Simon Lizotte, Matteo, Chris Dickerson, Calvin Heimberg, Gannon Burr, Eagle McMahon, Paul Macbeth, and finally in the first place spot, Ricky Wysocki.
Is Eagle gonna play enough? I think there's a lot of picks.
Well, I think that his new sponsors are gonna like want him to play a full season, so
That's
I
a good
think
point.
I think they're gonna want him to get a lot of
Fucking-
reps.
This new sponsor's gonna love
Yeah, they're
that.
really
Yeah.
pushing that.
Good. Like I Kyle Klein and I think Kyle Klein and Matt Oram are my two I'm looking at. I could see Calvin Heimberg dropping out of the top 5, but I don't think he's going to drop out of the top 10. Same with Gannon Burr dropping out of the top 5. Like I can see him dropping down to 9 or 10. I don't think they drop out, but yeah, Kyle Klein's like, I think he can drop out, and Matt Orm's been sneaky good.
Sneaky awesome. Yeah.
So I think maybe he's just not going to be sneaky anymore.
Matteo is also on my list. He's the one that kind of popped out. I think mine between the two, I have more faith in Klein than you. My two are probably Matteo and Simon are going to most likely to drop out of the top 10 out of this list.
Yeah, when I'm looking at it, to me, it just screams Nicholas Antula and Simon Lizotte. Both of them had, Simon specifically had a great season. Kind of almost comparing to his 2017 season, which was an absolute ridiculous season for him as well. I don't think that he necessarily can keep up that well, or he might completely surprise me. Who knows? Maybe he just kind of reached his peak game of disc golf, which I really, really hope so. But I can bet a little bit more that I don't think Nicholas Antula is a top 10 disc golfer, in my opinion. So I don't think that we're going to see him necessarily there. But what we just did, we're going to do a little bit backwards now. We're going to be doing who do we think is outside the top 32 that's going to be breaking in for the MPO before we go into and do the exact same thing for the FPO. So don't think we're missing out on the FPO.
Nice. I was about to ask that.
No, yeah, we're definitely.
So these ones are breaking into the top 32.
Who is outside the top 32 that you think is going to be in the top 32? And then these are some of the names just shy of that, going from 33 up from there. So we have Ezra Aderhold, Andrew Presnell, Emerson Keith, Mason Forth, Jake Hubenayer. Oh, I cannot pronounce that name. Juna Heinen, I apologize. Paul Ulibarri, Jesse Nieneman, James Proctor, Ben Calloway, Gavin Babcock, Chandler Kramer, and then 45th place, Matt Bell. I guess I should say Brody at 46 too.
Let's go with. I think Ezra is a safe pick. I think Ezra can easily move up to the top. But let's go with Mason Ford throwing a Nova.
Throwing wherever Valerie wants to go.
Yeah.
let's be honest.
Yep. So maybe Mason Ford. With
That's
his new
another.
company.
Hey, real quick question. Valerie gets a higher contract than Mason? No.
Same.
Ooh, same.
It's like-
All right. You got to think about it though. If it causes you to think.
No, you want to know what?
She might be.
They
she
probably
should.
like. I wouldn't be surprised if they just signed together. Like it's just,
I would be surprised at that.
like
Yeah.
if it's just like one little like.
Oh, they're definitely
even like Deanne Carey and her husband.
Maybe.
Like they're probably like.
That makes sense.
It's probably like a package deal. Like you're getting paid this much, and
so I'm gonna go. Ezra's the easy one. He's right there. He's knocking on the door. But I'm gonna go with. Man, Jay's going way in the wrong direction for me to kind of like. I had the name and I already lost it because I'm like
Emerson Keith.
And I knew it was gonna bother Jay, but he'll get up there. He'll be in there.
Hey, Jay used to like Emerson Keith.
When?
Whoa.
That sounded really bad. It's not like I have anything wrong with Emerson Keith. It's just like I've never been necessarily a big Emerson Keith advocate.
You and Jesus got to work on your anger.
You hate Emerson Keith. All right, who do you think, Jay?
I think when I'm looking at this, I'm really trying to like pick someone. I'm not necessarily really confident in any of my picks, but based on a lot of these names. I'm just gonna go with Chandler Kramer. I think that with his breakout season last year, continuing on Lone Star, that he, is developing maybe a good backhand too. He's been teasing that. We're gonna see good things in the 44 spot. Not too many far spots to go.
I think Jake should also be. He could be easily. He's my second pick.
You want to know what?
Again, Human Meyer. I can never say.
He's winning it. He's going. He's moving up to top 32 because he's beat like 6,000 fucking people in his life.
Yeah, he's so old.
Yeah, fucking Paul Ulibarri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see that one happening, unfortunately.
You want to know what?
Put it in the books.
I'm gonna call him up and be like, "Hey, man, these guys don't think you can be top 32. You be top 32, and he'll do it."
I hope so, man. Now we're going into the top 20. Who do you think is outside the top 20 that's going to break into the top 20?
Oh man, we're doing this too. I think I've already talked about this shit.
I guess we don't. We can just stop doing that.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Just like kind of one pick that was out there.
Let's jump with FPL. Let's go.
I know.
All right, now we're gonna jump
a lot more interesting.
All right, going into who is in the top 32 that you think is going to be bumped out in the 32 spot. Going down, we have Holly Finley, Hieti Tiati. That's not it, but Aria Castriuta, Rebecca Cox, Juliana Corver, Alex Benson, Vanessa Van Dyken, Madison Walker, Emily Beach, and in 23rd, we have Alexis Manduhano. We'll scroll up for you guys if you guys want to see.
Man, I'm going to have to say it's Juliana Corver just because I don't know how many more tournaments she's going to play. I think she has the talent to stay there, but I'm not sure about the number of tournaments, where she's at, and how much she's going to tour. So she's my quick pick to finish outside.
I think my quick pick's Alexis.
Ooh.
Manahanu.
Wow.
That's just not. I think that's a bad take, man.
I do too.
That's a bad take.
I think she's being overshadowed.
You don't listen to the spit out, man.
She's just gonna give up and fall off the face of the earth.
I don't know. I completely disagree with that one.
I
think
completely disagree. Watch it happen, guys.
I think in the 21 spot, I'm going to take the easier pick than the Juliana Corver, and I don't think Heather Young is going to be in the top 32 for any longer, just because I don't know if she's going to be playing any more tournaments, and if she does, I don't know if she's going to be able to compete at the level that she once did. Moving on, then, who do we think will be outside the top 20? Starting in 20th place spot, we have Jessica Weiss, Maria Oliva, Jennifer Allen, Heidi Lane, Deanne Carey, Kat Murch, Ella Hansen, Macy Vela Diaz, Sarah Hokum, and in that 11th place spot, Valerie Manduhano.
I am most concerned with Maria Oliva. New bag, new company. Could be an interesting season for her. And it wasn't long ago, earlier in the season, where we were talking about her as a breakout performer. She had a great early half. So with the new bag, I wouldn't be surprised. And she just signed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd she sign to?
Thought Space Athletics.
Good
1 year contract.
So that's an open bag.
It is an open bag.
So I don't think she's gonna have that problem.
I did not think of that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
She's more comfortable than ever.
Yeah.
Actually.
I will go with. I don't know.
I think the easiest.
Deanne Carey always seems very up and down. So maybe the down will be more than up this year, and she'll fall out.
I kind of agree with the Deanne Carey. It sounds mean to say, but nothing that's spectacular that kind of just like screams at me. She's someone who is just like kind of good at everything and just does plays the course to what the course needs to be played done. She has a new bag. I don't know how she's going to react to the new Lone Star discs. And I think I just see some other names. Like I think Maria Oliva is going to continue to do good things. I think that Jennifer Allen still has years to compete. I think that even looking back down, I think Alexis Manahano is going to do great things. I think Emily Beach can do great things. I think there's a lot of names that are going to push out people like Deanne Carey, unfortunately.
I think there's multiple that might be, you know what I mean, with some of the names that are just in the top 25 that'll come in. You're absolutely right.
And then moving on to who do we think will be out of the top 10? We have starting in the 10th place spot, Holland Hanley, Haley King, Natalie Ryan, Evelina Solonen, Paige Pierce, Owen Scoggins, Missy Gannon, and Hannah Bloomroos, Katrina Allen, and Kristen Tatar. Wow, that was dumb.
Natalie Ryan, because she's not allowed to play anymore.
Safe pick. That is
fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking PGA. Find out this costs more conservative than we thought.
I don't know. That seems pretty much conservative how that disco was, to be fair. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll start it off just because this might make Swiss a little angry. But when you're looking at everyone, to me, you could go with a safer pick with Yoan Scoggins. However, I'm going to be picking the person in that 10th place in Holly Hanley. I'm not necessarily fully believing that she has what it takes to continue to be a top 10. I've been hearing from Swiss. I've been hearing from a lot of people, specifically on that sidearm power and what she's just been able to do so far. I'm not fully convinced on that. She kind of has to show me, and if I'm presented with these names as I am, she's the one I'm least confident in staying in the top 10.
Yeah, I think it's too hard for me to pick because knowing that there's already a spot open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's gonna be a spot open.
There's already a spot open in this top 10, so that they literally have to drop 2 spots at least. Yeah. I guess I can see Evelina moving up to top 5 and moving out of top 10 like that. Maybe she's gonna be the one, but something tells me she's gonna be really working on that putter and trying to find something that clicks. So
yeah, I mean, I don't want to say own, but that's the only one that's really like popping off.
I think that's fair.
Like, you know what I mean? And it's I just think because man, you got room for like you're looking at this top 10 and you got like Cat Merch behind there. You got you got some names
that's
that are
what I'm saying
in.
Where there's just so many names behind that you're just gonna. There's so many more people to fill.
Macy,
I'd also like to point out this has nothing to do necessarily with. I mean, it kind of does. Look at Kristen Tatar's dominance index compared to Katrina Allen, who's in second place. She has 128. Katrina Allen's at 56. This just shows how much more that Kristen Tatar is defeating the field. Like, it's just absolutely insane. But we're gonna wrap up this prediction with who do you guys think was in the top or outside the top 32 going to be moving in? Starting at 32 or 33 spot, we have Cynthia Risati, Stacey Ronsley, who just got signed to Castoplast, Kona Panis, Sarah Gilpin, Jenny Engstrom, Stacey Haas, Stephanie Vincent, Erica Stitchincombe, and 40th place.
I think the easiest one is Kona to say.
Can we not do this? Yeah, let's not do this for the females. Let's do move into the top 10 for females.
All right.
Who fills the top? I like that one.
Because there's already a spot open. That's just
who's going to fill in that top 10 right now?
Yeah, and I think because when you with the FBO when you get down to 32,
that's true.
You lose
less
names with
unlike. I do agree. So who do you guys think is going to jump in that top 10?
Like I'm gonna let somebody else pick that person, and I'm gonna pick my favorite FPO female, Cat Merch. She's
gonna make that jump, huh?
Yeah, she loves where she is. She loves throwing an over. She just got an extension.
Did that break Nico's heart?
No.
Yes. Okay.
No, Nico's
a little hurt, I think.
Nico understands. You get paid. You get paid. And all the other couples are going to fucking Lone Star. They didn't want to.
They want a couple battle.
Fucking compete with that. I think if she finds her putt, she can be unbelievable. Like her drives and her upshots are.
She's a little shaky sometimes.
Yeah. So, but I kept one open because I know one of you two dumbasses are gonna say, and it's gonna be a good answer as well.
I'm going to go with, I think Ella Hansen's going to be in the top 10. I've been an advocate for Ella Hansen for a while now. I think that she's had a little bit of that time that we've said that she needs. I think hopefully, same way with Evelina, kind of the dedication to hopefully that putt pays off. Her distance game's on another level. Her roller game is untouched. She has parts of her game that are just absolutely insane, especially getting to circle 1 and circle 2 for position for birdie. The problem has come to, especially that circle 2 is hitting those putts for birdie. 2023 is going to be a new year, new Ella Hansen, first dub. Let's get it.
It helps when you throw farther than everybody else.
Everybody, man. Everybody. And your rollers just go just as far.
So awesome. I'm not going to go with the obvious, and I think the obvious is obviously Valerie, right? None of us are going to acknowledge Valerie.
I've already kind of accepted that she's
in the top 10. Okay. All right. I'll stick with that, and I'm going to go with Macy Veladiaz. Just got promoted to DDO. She's going to get more support, and I think she's continually grown every year as she's played more tournaments every season. I think it's going to be Macy. We'll easily slot into that spot.
Boom. Yep. Don't necessarily think you're wrong on any of those choices. We're kind of running a little bit longer than I have in a lot of predictions. We're trying to do a little bit more of rapid
Fast
fire.
round.
Let's
Go.
do a little bit of rapid fire
All
of
right,
some
cool.
2023 predictions. We're going to start with Jesus, go to Swiss, then me and wrapping up, and then
All
I'll
right,
ask
let's
the
go.
next question. Who do you think will win their first event in 2023?
Cat merch.
Cat merge. Ella Hansen.
You stole my answer. I'm going to go. Now I didn't win. Now I can't name any because you stole. All I was dedicated on was Ella Hansen. I'm
Kind of blue.
going to stick with Ella Hansen, though. Macbeth versus Wysocki. Who has a better finishing place at the end of the year or better season?
Macbeth.
Wysocki.
I'm going to go with Wysocki as well. Pierce versus Tatar.
Pierce.
Tatar.
I'm going to go with Tatar as well. Klein versus Burr.
Burr. Sorry.
I was gonna go Klein.
I'm going to go Burr. Valerie versus Holland Hanley. Valerie Mandohana versus Holland
Valerie.
Hanley.
Valerie.
I'm going to go Valerie as well. Who do you think is going to be the world champion for FPO and MPO in 2023?
Give me Cat Merchant Nicola Castro.
Nice.
It's the earliest pick. I'm gonna go off the wall. Cat Merchant Nicola Castro.
All right, I'll go off the wall pick. In FPO, Haley King, Great in the Woods, Woods Course. MPO, give me Calvin.
Wow. I think Calvin's more of the off the wall pick than Haley King.
Maybe that actually might not be wrong. I'm gonna go with world champion, two-time world champion Kristen Tatar, and then from the MPO, I think he's gonna keep doing it, have a successful season, and Gannon is gonna be a world champion.
Why?
USDGC, the next major. Who do you think?
Give me James Conrad.
Paul Macbeth.
Paul, that's a good answer. I kind of want to go with Paul too, but I'm not. And I think he needs this for his resume, and he's going to dedicate himself to it. Ricky Wysocki. Match play.
Oh, do you want to do? Are we going to do FBO?
We are.
Okay, cool.
But we're going to do
match play. Owns Goggins.
Two-time. Match play. Man, there's always a wild card that kind of like wins it. I'm going to go. I'll be the one that Ella wins.
I think Haley King's going to win this one.
Do you want MPO?
Yep, I do.
Match play for MPO will be Chandler Kramer.
Wow. I am going to go. The goose is loose. I'll go Aaron Gossett.
I'm going to go with Eagle McMahon. Who do you think is going to win the US WDGC?
I think Kristen Tatar won that one.
Yeah, Tatar, I'll take.
Well, if I think Tatar's going to win every major, I think it only makes sense that she wins this one as well. So Kristen Tatar. Finally, who do you think is going to be the player of the year in 2023?
MPO and FPO?
Yep. Just give them both right away.
FPO will be Haley King. And MPO will be Ezra Out-of-Hold.
Tatar, Eagle McMahon.
2023 world champion, not world champion, 2023 player of the year, Kristen Tatar alongside Calvin Heimberg.
Wow. Okay.
That's going to wrap up this year's rendition of the Frolfies. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let us know what your favorite award was, and make sure if you want to see more awards, check out the YouTube channel for the entire award ceremony. Guys, there's not going to be an episode of Kirby's Disc Golf World next week. I'm going to the Caribbean, so I'm going to be playing some Caribbean disc golf, make these guys a little bit jealous.
Are you really going to play Caribbean disc golf?
Yes, I am. There's a course on the island, so there will not be an episode next week, but of the official first episode of the 2023 season 4 of Kirby's Disc Golf World will be not next week, but the next week. This was episode 100 of Kirby's Disc Golf World. Been doing this for 3 years. If you've been here since the beginning, thank you so much for the support. Even though whenever you jumped on, thank you so much. We'll be continuing throughout 2023 and beyond to push out great disc golf content. So stay tuned for more. I'm JK Disc Golf. Alongside me, I have Disc Golf Cheese and Swiss Cheese. Good night.
Peace.